Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? How you doing? Come on, sit down because today we're going to be talking about sports betting.
This is a public health emergency happening. We're not talking about it yet.
Since being legalized in 2018, there has been a massive influx of online sports betting. It has gotten to a point where it's inescapable. I mean, I watch a lot of football, right? I cannot believe the amount that like sports betting sponsorships have on actual broadcast television. That seems insane, to the point where even before games there's odds. And the only reason I even want to talk about this now is because it's gotten so crazy that I cannot watch a game without having a couple friends sit over and them talking about like, oh, I just lost that bet, and they go through 7 different apps on their phone with all these different bets. It's a problem. We're in a problem. It's on your TV, your phone, billboards, and even the radio. Sports betting has become one of the most profitable and addictive markets in the world. Every single sporting event now has a multitude of different things you can put money on. And while this is exciting for seasoned bettors, it's starting to get more and more younger people to open up their wallets and gamble, pretty much.
There are ways to bet when you are 18. I have a couple friends who like use like their dad's email on FanDuel. Online, it says a 50-year-old man's placing the bet, but no, it's like my buddy.
Not only that, but because sports betting apps are growing so popular, they are now allowing people to place bets on everything, from politics to even the weather, okay? Even professional athletes and coaches are betting on their own games to make a quick buck. And it's, you know, Harry, what was the team, the basketball team, the guy got caught?
Terry Rozier was a player, and then Chauncey Billups, the coach of the Portland Trail Blazers, also. His was a little bit different because they were saying something through the mob. They think he has ties to the mob. Where they,
what is happening? And not only that, but then Otani's translator was sports betting, and it definitely wasn't Otani. Word off, dude. There's gonna be a huge, like, supernova star collapse that's going to happen with this sports betting stuff. It's going to implode on itself very, very shortly. If traditional gambling wasn't already doing enough damage, we're starting to see a massive increase in gambling addiction due to the rise of sports betting and how easy it is to bet with these apps, and even seeing people like your own like athletes that you like, they're sports betting. You have Shaq and Kevin Hart and LeBron James spewing out shit every other commercial. It's an impressionable system where it starts with, it's just $1. And then all of a sudden, how about my rent? To put things into perspective, look no further than the upcoming March Madness. It's currently expected that this NBA tournament alone will rack up to $3.1 billion in sports betting. College kids, which just recently were able to get paid from this stuff. I want to say thank you, Johnny Manziel. Moneyman Manziel. Just recently, a young high schooler referred to as Max explained how disappointed he was to find out that this yearly Super Bowl party he throws with his friends is now 100% focused around betting all of their money on this event. Which, you know what, dude? Don't do it, Max. Supposed to say, oh, I feel bummed it's happening. Then don't participate in it, dumbass. Not only were his friends becoming addicted to sports betting, but he noted that many kids at his school are pulling out money from their savings and bar mitzvah accounts to do it. Oy vey. And according to him, it's all the kids in school are talking about, with the youngest person he knows starting at 11 years old. And that's straight from the source, baby. Because also, I like how people too are like, well, you have to have an ID to get on. It's like, you don't think that, have we not had Photoshop for, I don't know, 70 years? Like, oh my God. Also AI face filters. This is me. And someone's like, okay. It doesn't help that betting on sports is more accessible than ever, with various apps to choose from like FanDuel, DraftKings, Bet365, BetMGM, Fanatics, Caesars, Stake, and many, many more. I like how we just label that all off just to give it to you, in case you want to get addicted yourself. Sorry. This video is sponsored by Fume, the leaders in flavored air. Breaking bad habits can be hard. Don't let holiday stress get to you. Stay strong and let Fume help you out. Fume is not a vape. It's not an e-cig. It's just flavored air, which means you can use Fume anywhere. With Fume, there's no vapor, no nicotine, and never any toxic chemicals. And on top of that, Fume is an award-winning device that puts you on the path towards being free from bad habits. Fume has great flavors like cool mint, peach blush, cinnamon hearts, and you when you're feeling anxious. The device is so compact that you can take it anywhere, letting you keep Fume by your side and find your calm. With its satisfying clicks and snaps, you can fidget with the device to your heart's content. I keep mine here at my desk without taking up any space. It's so tiny, like me. Over 700,000 people have already added Fume to their daily routine, and I totally get why. It's simple, it's satisfying, and it doesn't come with any of the downsides of smoking or vaping. Literally none. And right now, if you order the Journey Pack using my code BABAMEAT, you'll get a free Fume Topper. So if you've been thinking about changing your habits, this is the perfect first step. Go to tryfume.com/BABAMEAT or scan the QR code on screen to get yours today. Thank you, Fume, for sponsoring this video. FanDuel, one of the leaders in sports betting, even has physical locations where people can place bets and grab drinks as they watch games on multiple screens at once. It's pretty much just a live sports book where you can, it's like taking your dad to Buffalo Wild Wings and the dog track at the same time. It's now becoming much more normalized among casual watchers as social activity, right? You go there, you throw down a couple bones, you watch the game, you eat some wings, you go home. And sometimes you can hit it big. And that's the problem, is when you hit it big, because then you're chasing that high forever. It's one thing to bet money on the Super Bowl, but some people will literally bet on anything. Bet Online, an offshore online gambling company, even admitted that a staggering amount of people take bets on Little League baseball games. That should be illegal. Betting on small Mexican and Chinese boys playing baseball, that should be illegal. It's prevalent enough that Little League puts on an official statement condemning the act. You guys have got to stop. You guys have, the Great Lakes American baseball team, they're scared. After a while too, what's gonna happen is if it becomes where they're like, there's too much going on, every one of these fractions is going to want a piece of the pie.
I thought you were gonna say you're gonna get worried for the players, because I could see like a grown man betting on a child, and then he loses.
A kid, not even that, but Jorge, whoever plays for Mexico, is playing China, whatever. He's like a huge slugger. Who's not to say that someone does fucking crowbar to a shin before the game? Huh? I mean, that's what these kids should be afraid. If you're a child, you should be afraid. Okay? And I bet you anything, it goes even more local, where people who want their fixes on that, they do stuff where it's like not even on an app, but it's like parents betting on their own child's game with other people in the community. He's like, he's coming over to my house, I'll poison him, I'll put eye drops in his water or his Coca-Cola, get him all sick and shit. Exactly. According to Harry Levant, a therapist and addiction specialist, he has young patients that are college students gambling away their federal student loans betting on sports.
I have patients who gamble in the shower. I have patients who gamble before they get out of bed in the morning. I have patients who gamble while they are driving. There are no guardrails. We scientifically know the human brain, the risk-reward system for a young man, isn't fully formulated until you're 25.
And this is leading to all sorts of chaos within the world of professional sports. It's ruining the lives of fans, fundamentally changing how people consume sports, and causing athletes to be harassed by angry gamblers. And it is just generally deemed bad for society by more than just about everybody, right? Everybody's saying this is bad for human beings as we know it. When you go to place a bet, you are betting on more than just the outcome of the game. Nowadays, you can bet on every little detail, from specific player stats, the specific time at which athletes score, and even how many people are in attendance at the game. How many people decide to show up? Which, if your bet's big enough, you could be like, I'll pay everyone's ticket and go there and I'll score. You know what I mean? I literally believe you could orchestrate something like that. Parlays are another mechanic that has hooked the majority of sports bettors, because it means you don't have to place a large bet to win a large payout. Parlays allow you to string together multiple bets on various aspects of the game. They take a lot to hit, but if they do, usually the payout is a large sum. So usually you're betting on micro things to happen through a game on a series of small bets that has an insane payout. That's why you set it's a multiplier. That's why you see a guy in Buffalo Wild Wings ball his fist and drive it through the server's face when a 16-string parlay doesn't hit. It was right there! That's how it ends up happening.
That would be a lot of money, though, to be fair.
Oh,
16
boy.
leg?
Exactly. He's gonna go home and put a gun in his mouth. I could have had it all. This system is extremely addictive. Not only because it's like buying a cheap lottery ticket, but because you usually need all of your legs to hit in order to get the payout. So you're just scratching, you're itching. Oh God, did he shoot it? Who made that score? It's what happens. It's like watching heroin addicts watch a game. Sports books, it's like, seriously, it's like someone taking a crack rock and being like, fight for your freedom. that kind of thing. Most bettors miss one or two legs, creating what's known as a near miss outcome. Near misses are addictive because, much like getting two matching symbols on a slot machine, your brain interprets it as being almost a winner, which urges you to try again. Companies like DraftKings realized this and even offered special promos such as ghost leg parlays, which allowed bettors to win a payout even if they last the one leg they needed. This creates a vicious feedback loop that leaves bettors wanting more and more until they have nothing left to lose. Thanks, DraftKings. Another big mechanism that brings people in is prop bets, which let you bet on specific stats and players. Not only has this widened the pool of things to bet on, but it has also led to some very ridiculous bets. In 2021, infamous YouTuber Vitaly, who's in prison now in like a different country because he's he placed a bet on whether or not there would be a streaker in 2021 Super Bowl between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. To ensure the best hit, he enlisted a man named Yuri Andrade to run out onto the field before getting tackled and arrested. See, as I'm saying, you do that thing, you pay someone to go and take the hit, you give him like a percentage of whatever it is. Ohtani did this. If you think Ohtani didn't do something like this, the 2025 Super Bowl also had a ton of weird prop bets. For example, you could bet on the color of the Gatorade that would be dumped on the winning coach. According to DraftKings, the color with the best odds were purple, followed by a tie between orange and yellow. I would have bet yellow. I almost always feel like I unanimously see yellow. Do they also, this is regardless of whatever. Do people still do the Disney thing? What are you doing now? I'm going to Disney. That was like a big thing they did in the NBA, I feel like.
Michael Jordan and the Bulls, you just won your first NBA championship. What are you going to do next?
We're going to Disney World. Yeah.
Whoever won the NBA championship in the crowd, where are you going? What are you going to do next, Shaq? I'm going to Disney. Some bet on whether Travis Kelce would propose to Taylor Swift or whether or not someone would cry during the national anthem. Chris Jones, that's easy. He cries at every national anthem. It's fucking ridiculous. Other ridiculous bets include guessing the specific time it took to sing the national anthem, how many Canadian viewers there were, and if there would be a power outage. With all these various ways to play, people have gotten superstitious about how they place their bets. One of the biggest sports bettors on the planet is Drake. I'm just gonna let that sink in for a second. He will bet millions at a time and has a historically bad track record of betting on teams or players that lose. Kiki, do you love me? This has led to a phenomenon called the Drake curse, in which bettors purposely bet against Drake, believing it's a slam dunk win. Many sports bettors claim they can't enjoy simply watching sports anymore. They have to place bets, otherwise there's no thrill to the enjoyment anymore. It's like there's no thrill of the hunt anymore, right? I can't just watch professional athletes be superhumans. I have to have money at stake. If I don't lose money, am I really having fun? While they're not betting, many experience mood swings, depression, substance abuse, or declining performances at school or work as they struggle to cope with their addiction.
That seems like a cop-out.
You think so?
The excuse, I'm not betting, that's why I'm a like...
I think that there's some merit to that just because I think that having a constant dopamine hit of like refresh and doing that, and then when you don't have that, you're more irritable. I can see that. Don't get me wrong, the person's still a piece of shit, but still. It's just a thing where that person was probably a nuisance before, they're a monster now. When we say that sports betting is everywhere, that truly cannot be understated. Popular apps like Stake, an online casino and sports betting service, are now known to randomly watermark viral clips with undisclosed advertisements. They're basically like, what's that like America's Funniest Home Videos that's everywhere in like random, it like loops clips. It's like Chive. Stake is like Chive. I'm telling you, it's like Chive. I'm like, why is there a Stake watermark here? This year, during the Stanley Cup Finals, it was discovered that 3.5 to 4.7 references to popular betting services appeared every minute. Every 60 seconds, 3 to 4 sponsors were on the screen. That's pretty crazy. In total, researchers pointed to 6,282 instances, whether it be a logo plastered on a player's jersey, commercials, courtside ads, or commentators shouting them out directly. Thank you so much to Bet365. You know, very old head type shit. It's fun. I like when they say shit too. The sports bettors or like the announcers will be like, I had a great time with it. Me and my grandson will do it. You're like, DraftKings and FanDuel literally have VIP programs consisting of top bettors that receive lavish vacations, personal hosts that act as your own personal customer service agent, and all kinds of other promotions, awards, and gifts, including points to be used within the app to make sure you keep betting. Whether it's marketed as a way to reward loyal customers, it's being seen as a way to push whales to bet as much as possible, often leading to life-ruining financial repercussions. I don't think DraftKings is going to stick around if you're not a whale anymore either. Do I still get to go to Hawaii? They're like, no. Dr. Kavita Fisher, a psychiatrist in the VIP program, went on to bet wildly after joining, ultimately losing $153,000 when she emailed her VIP host about how she was thinking of quitting gambling due to her addiction. She was met with a message urging her to reel it back and play within her budget, only to receive 6 emails the next week enticing her to raise her deposits. All right, we're reeling that. Let's not be, I mean, we're trying to make money here. I mean, you're gonna win, like just keep betting. What the hell? At one point, she started asking her for loans from DraftKings after being drained and unable to make mortgage payments. Once she was unable to deposit money for her bets, she was told she was no longer in the VIP program. And because of this, Dr. Kavita filed a lawsuit against DraftKings claiming their special VIP program intentionally targets gambling addicts. Services like DraftKings, to no one's surprise, likely do not care about the people whose lives they're ruining by their service. Of course not. They give a hell no. In another tone-deaf effort to boost profits, DraftKings created the Never Forget 9/11 themed promotional parlay in which people could bet on 3 New York-based teams winning their upcoming game on the anniversary of the tragic event. Soulless demons is what these people are, seriously. It's like, what if we did like a New York? What's like a big thing people like about New York? 9/11? Boom. They soon had to apologize for this, reiterating that they actually cared super duper hard about the 3,000 people who lost their lives that day. 100%. Dude, we did that because I actually am so stoked on them. Okay? Kalshi is another betting service making the rounds on TikTok, allowing people to vote and bet on the outcome of any event taking place. It skirts state gambling laws by having you trade on the outcome of a real-world event rather than bet the way you would on sports betting service. I'm sure that's going to be around for a long time. This doesn't just include sports, but even things like the election, who will win on Dancing with the Stars, whether or not Trump will release the Epstein files, and even what the weather will be like on a certain day.
The long-term vision is to financialize everything and create a tradable asset out of any difference in opinion. And I think if you do build a general...
Their marketing consists of nonstop physical and online ads, some of which are fully AI generated. And they also sponsor tons of TikToks to show off their predictions to push traffic, to get people to spend that money. Because also too, it starts with the joke shit like that too. Well, people, because these are also soulless demons who are like, well, what about people who don't watch sports? I mean, Dancing with the Stars has this, you could bet on that. And you're capitalizing on meme bets, and then meme bets turn into real shit to where they're just like, well, I actually started watching sports just because I was on the Cashly app or whatever it's called.
That's actually really smart. I didn't realize that.
It's not smart, Nick. It's evil. We're not going to reward them with a compliment. I like how Nick's just like, okay, so I should start my own app company. You parasite, good God. In every sports league, it is against the rules for players to bet on themselves or their team. Unsurprisingly, as more athletes are sponsored by sports betting apps and become more involved in the betting world, they begin to ruin their own sport. Toronto Raptors player Jonte Porter was investigated after he was caught placing 13 bets on NBA games from a friend's account while he was traveling with the Raptors league team. What a idiot, dude. God, people are so dumb. It's unbelievable. During their investigation, the NBA also found out that Jonte had discussed his health with an anonymous sports bettor and then purposely underperformed so their bet of $80,000 would hit for $1.1 million.
These defendants perpetrated a scheme to defraud by betting on inside, non-public information about NBA athletes and teams.
The investigation concluded he was guilty and banned him for life. He's like, I like basketball. What are you talking about? Terry Rozier was caught selling info to bettors for $100,000 and purposely left a Hornets game in March of this year with an injury so their underperformances money line would hit. That's a bit weird, right? Even worse, he flew the bettors out so he could count the profits with them. He was placed on an immediate leave by the NBA and is indicted on charges of wire fraud conspiracy and money laundering conspiracy. As for the head coach, Chauncey Billups has been linked to an anonymous bettor who would tell other bettors that Portland would tank, as well as revealing certain players would miss multiple games in the 2023 season. This was a part of the backdoor deal to help bettors he worked with to win prop bets. He was also involved in rigged high-stake poker games with the Mafia, in which multiple other famous former NBA coaches and players participated. LeBron for sure. I can see LeBron being like, what? He's like, what? LeBron's like, you Italian and a mobster? Let me get in on that hand. Brony's in the back dribbling. I could see LeBron doing it. Also, I bet Michael was there. Trying to tell me Michael Jordan wasn't in those Mafia card games. Yeah, right. Following Chauncey, 14 mafia members were arrested in New Jersey for running a multi-million-dollar sports betting ring that involved several NBA and college players. One of the highest paid sports players of all time, Shohei Ohtani, the rat himself, recently faced a scandal that cost him millions. Impe Mizuharu was Shotani's interpreter that followed him everywhere as he repeatedly interviewed. Because Shotei is very wealthy, his interpreter was also paid pretty fucking well. However, his salary wasn't enough, and he went behind Shotei's back, stealing nearly $17 million directly from his bank account. Oh, I'm sure. I'm gonna go in speculation time here. Because he gets 2 years in prison. You think Ohtani's not going to be like, I'll give you $50 million. I'm going to give you $50 million if you go 2 years in prison. The guy's like, I get to retire. 2 years of not doing anything, laying on my ass in prison, just trying not to get... That's it. That's all I have to do. Come on. Back in 2002, 3 friends were charged and sentenced to multiple years in prison for wire fraud because they were caught rigging horse bets. A 2002 horse bet ring? Come on, man. That's sick. One of the friends, Chris Harn, worked for a company called Autotate, which managed all horse racing wagering for the major races. While working, he noticed that there was a window after the races ended between when the bets were placed online and when the actual money reached their system. So he placed bets for himself and his friends on the 2002 Breeders' Cup and went in. After the race was over, he would change their bets and win big. In the end, their $1,000 bet turned into $3.1 million jackpot, and they began celebrating their newfound riches. However, it was never paid out because they got caught.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Are you kidding me, dude? They got it fair and square. The horse they chose had 43-1 odds, and he was the only person to pick all 6 races correctly. A bit greedy. It soon became apparent that he had cheated, and once the FBI concluded its investigation, all 3 men pleaded guilty to their charges. After their sentencing, all their winnings were redistributed to 78 bettors who had correctly picked 5 of the 6 races, and the horse racing industry quickly upgraded its betting software to prevent something like this from happening again. One of the worst things about becoming entrenched in the world of high-stakes sports betting is simply the fact that even a casual game of football suddenly becomes the most stress-inducing event of your fucking life. There are countless videos of people losing large sums of money betting on sports only to ruin everyone's day by screaming like a maniac and breaking objects. Many TVs have lost their lives in the process. One man who bet money on the Super Bowl erupted into tears and threw a tantrum in front of all of his coworkers after losing his entire paycheck on the Super Bowl. He shouts about how he'll never watch a football game again as everyone films him and cracks jokes at his expense, which I would have done the same. Idiot. Many sports gamblers take their anger out on the watch party, as it's now become more common for people to send furious messages and straight up threats to athletes after losing bets. 23-year-old Ben Parlay Pats, for example, was caught using anonymous Instagram accounts to say horrendous things to athletes, going as far as to threaten to break into their homes and behead their entire families. Good old Ben Parlay, huh? This is such a big problem that the NCAA had to run the Don't Be a Loser ad throughout the March Madness, which was essentially an anti-harassment video urging people not to abuse players due to sports betting. Hey, could you not cyberbully these 18-year-olds on live television? Thanks. If you're struggling with a gambling addiction, make sure to reach out and get help. We'll even put a little link right here. I mean, who knows? I'm telling you, at least with all the odds that I read, I bet you 1 in 5 Papa Meat viewers are a gambling addict, so... Here's your link if you need help. After all, the world of sports betting has gotten out of hand, and there's no telling how much worse it's gonna get. What is now a billion-dollar industry is set to continue to grow and become an inescapable part of our daily lives. So do whatever you can so you don't overindulge in it. Just because it's more common doesn't mean it's any less dangerous, y'all. Stay safe, keep your wallet intact, and for the love of God, maybe just watch the superhumans play sports for fun. All right? We will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
I don't believe that there is an addiction to mobile betting any more than there is an addiction to utilization of your phone for any other reason.
You don't think adding a layer of betting makes the phone more addictive than just tooling around Instagram?
No. There is problem gambling. It is a real problem. Whether it's gotten bigger or it's just become more noticeable because sports betting is legal, I think is an unknown.
Really?